What's up, everybody? How you guys doing? TK Profit from Profit Takers. We are going to hop on tonight to do a live charting session just to take a look at a couple of forex pairs, look at the indices, also take a look at this Tesla trade that we took advantage of last month. Okay, right at the end of the month. All right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into our trading view to get started. All right. All right, so last week we took a look at Tesla on a live session. So if you'd like to see that whole thing play out, you can go back to our previously recorded sessions and find this trade set up. So we entered in Tesla around 825, and we were able to catch over $100 move on this in this trade. Our second TP was 929, but Tesla ended up pulling all the way up to 953 before rejecting at the 200 EMA and giving us a pullback. So this trade ended up playing out perfectly at this point. If we do not get a break of the lows here in this area, then we could expect Tesla to continue the uptrend. If not, if price continues to fall, giving us more of a flag pattern here, then we'll wait on the retest of this zone and continue to move to the downside. So first thing first, let's go ahead and take a look at the indices. Let's start with S&P. Okay, let me go out to a higher time frame. Ooh. All right, so also in that live session, we took a look at this S&P sale. At this point, we were waiting on this area here to be retested before looking at a potential reversal in price. And as you can see, as of right now, price is threatening the lows here. And we don't actually have any major support down here to give us any indication of a possible reversal. So what we can do is just set alerts. I'm pretty sure this level will get broken, and we will see this area being tested. But let's just set that alert. And maybe during the London session, we could probably catch a small pullback to maybe let us into that trade. Okay, on the 30-minute, we have something that I teach my students to identify, which is this zone. We call it a buy to sell zone. And they normally happen where you have a breaker structure. All right. If you look right here, where we have all of these rejections, this will be a microstructural level. And right at the break, we have this sharp push up before the move down. So we'll look at this area as a possible pullback area. And what we'll do to re-enter this trade, if you guys did not take advantage of this trade set up in our live session, we can wait till this area is retested. Now you also have a double top right above it that falls right underneath the 50-day EMA. So we could be a little safe, bring our stop loss slightly above that double top and catch that down to that TP area, which still gives us a 1 to 4 setup on this trade. So let's go ahead and set up our TPs just in case this pullback does happen. Alright, so I set an alert for our stop loss. Let me go to a higher time frame to figure out what our TP2 should be. Oh, give me a second. We got a slow connection today. Okay, so that TP2 fell right at the lows here. So that's actually a good spot for TP2. Oh, that's fine. Oh yeah, we'll set this alert just in case this trade continues to move without us. And I'll set an alert for TP2 and TP3. Now, I utilize my alerts to prevent excessive time spent watching trades. You don't actually need to stare at the computer. Trust in yourself. Oh, hold on a second. Trust in yourself, trust in your analysis, and allow the market to move. Okay, so this is what we're looking at as far as the indices now. For today, we want to see this continuation in price, moving to the downside to hit our third TP area before price makes another move. Okay. So this will most likely play out during the London session. I will be up this morning to trade this live. During the London session from 3:30 to 4:30 a.m. All right, so let's take a look at NASDAQ. Tapped in. Okay, we got Rod Parker tapped in. Anybody did any charting this week? If so, what are you looking at? Let me know what pairs you're looking at in the chat. Let me see. All right, so NASDAQ pretty much looks the same. So far, it looks like we got everything continuing to move to the downside. Gold. All right. You can take a look at gold as well. US 30, okay. Y'all playing with some big boys. US 30. US 30 moves so fast, man. It's beautiful. You have to be sound as far as your mental focus. US 30 will move one pip, you'll be down $60. Printed the inverse head and shoulders on the 30-minute. Okay. Yeah, we'll check it out. Okay, so we have the lows here as a point of interest on NASDAQ, and we also have this double bottom here that's right underneath this liquidity area. So we'll take a look at both of these areas as potential target zones. Boom. Price could respond here at those lows and give you a rejection or a pullback, or it could continue or we could see a continuation to this zone to test it. All right, so on the 4-hour, it looked like we got a lot of our students on here. So remember, I tell you guys normally when you have a breaker structure, you'll get that buy to sell or sell to buy zone. And if you look right here, you have it, and it was already retested. So the move that we're actually waiting to develop on S&P actually already played out on NASDAQ. And Jeff, I'm glad you're on because I remember we discussed not jumping into a trade on NASDAQ just because the move showed up in S&P. And this is a perfect example of why we shouldn't do that, because sometimes one may move faster than the other. Now, they may all end up playing in the same direction, but not exactly at the same time. So always chart them individually. Okay. So let's go down to a smaller time frame to see. Yeah. Now on the 2-hour we have another. Let's see how it plays out. We'll just set an alert. Now these are moves that we could see played out during the London session. All right, so let's also pay attention to this. Price made these relatively equal highs here. Even though we have a double top here, we also have a imbalance zone right above it. So it is not far-fetched that price would break those highs to capture liquidity in that area to retest this zone. So what we'll do is set alerts to monitor what actually happens in this area. We'll set an alert here to see if this level is broken, and we'll also set an alert at right above these highs, right below this imbalance zone. And if price pulls back to these areas, we'll just move down to a smaller time frame to monitor these zones. Then we'll get a better idea of how to execute on this thing. And we'll also set an alert below just in case it leaves without us. All right, now one thing I noticed, Mondays, you'll typically get a continuation of the move from the following week. So as you guys can see, everything pretty much sold off. So I wouldn't be trading looking for a major reversal or anything today. Like if we do, catch a buy, I'm looking for something short before a continuation happens in the true direction. So right now everything is still in a major downtrend. As far as price, you have it traveling underneath all of your EMAs, so everything still points to the bearish. So let's just play it safe. If we're in stage 4, let's look for continuations of those moves to catch the sales versus trying to dictate what's going to happen in the market. So since we already looked at S&P, NAS 100, we'll tap into US 30 while we're here. Same thing. Prices underneath our 50 and our 200 EMA. We have this bearish look on all of our indices right now. Okay, so this buy was originally from this area here. Now price has come back to retest this area. With all of the rejections that we have underneath this area, we created a lot of liquidity. So that doesn't mean that it has to break, but there is a chance and a possibility. So we always note the potential chances that happens in the market. So if it does, we aren't surprised. So let's go ahead and use our arrow. We'll just bring it straight across. Okay, since we are at the lows, and it's also an area where we have multiple rejections, there is a chance that you could see another rejection here, because this area is proven to be valid support. Okay, you have multiple rejections here, and if you scroll a little further back in the past, you have more rejections, but the computers are moving a little slow, so I won't go back that far. We might waste half the time of the video trying to scroll back. Alright, so let me get back to current price. Alright, so again, we would like to, oh, come on, wait on me. Hold on 1 second. Okay, here we go. So again, we would like to see a continuation, but in this area we have multiple rejections. So we'll be safe and we'll wait on the market to tell us what's going to happen before we jump the gun. So as of right now, like I said, we're at the lows. Let's go down to a smaller time frame to see if there's any chance of a pullback. All right, we got 3 minutes left in this 30-minute candle. You also got a double top right here, and this pretty much did the same thing as NASDAQ. You got liquidity forming here above all of these highs. Now typically, you guys, before the sale happens, price will reach up and grab liquidity. You got a lot of people with stop losses in this area, so it wouldn't be it wouldn't catch me off guard if price pulled up to snatch out those stop losses before continuing that move to the downside. Also, right above that 200 EMA, we got another level of imbalance. So let's just mark this level. Which just so happens to fall right on the 236 level on the fib. So that's nice. And we'll do the same thing. We'll set our alerts. Okay. Patience is key. Just because you feel like it's going in one direction, that doesn't mean jump off the cliff and press your button. Okay. Take your time. Wait for confirmations. And make sure you adjust your risk reward accordingly. Okay, so this alert is just in case it pulls up to hit the liquidity level that we just marked above. Not liquidity level, that imbalance zone. And we'll place this here. So from here where we are in price, the potential moves as of right now is a continuation. The way everything is setting up, I honestly believe we could see a pullback before a continuation, but let's just wait to see what the market says and not what I think. No matter how good I feel I am, I always wait on the market to confirm, okay? Hold on, let me take that back. How good I know I am. All right, we still wait for confirmation. So as of right now, we're looking at this. If price continues, I don't think it is. And we're looking at this as far as a pullback, maybe to just this double top, or we may break the highs to retest this imbalance zone. But either direction, you have a trade setup that reaches our minimum requirements, which are 1 to 3. Okay, so we have our alerts set. We have our potential target set. Now all we need to do is actually wait on movement of confirmation to determine which side we'll actually trade to. Now let's go ahead and take a look at gold. Okay. Okay, gold. Let's take a look. We're going to use Fibonacci retracement tool to measure the retracement of this downtrend. Pretty much we just want to see how far back of a pullback this move was. It looks like it may have hit the 786 level on our fib. So let me go to our fib, and we use it by connecting it from the swing lows to the swing high. Okay, so this move stopped a little shy of the 786, and our 200-day EMA just so happens to fall right beneath the 786. Also, right here, this area where we have structure, price gave you a sell to buy zone, which also falls right underneath the 786. So it makes this area where we had previous structure more interesting. So we'll just take our rectangle tool. We'll identify this area where we have this sell to buy zone. Okay. Now we're looking at this area as a potential target area for this move in gold, because the way this is setting up, if you look here on the way down at this major structural level right here, you got a break of structure, and in that break of structure, the same thing that we've pretty much pointed out on the last few charts, you have this buy the sell zone. All right, price created it, pulled back to retest it, and now price is moving to the downside. If price closes below the lows here, then there will be a double top, which is another indication that this could be a bear flag, and gold could be headed down to this area. Okay, so let's take a look inside of that candle. Okay. Hold on. Okay, this zone. So let me. Oh yeah, TP2. Okay, that's perfect. Okay. Down here on the smaller time frame, we have an inverse head and shoulders here, but we also have a double top here. It would not be, let's see, this is also the neckline. So if price does not close and break below this level, you could see a pullback to this zone before another continuation in this move, which would also give the 200 EMA a little more time to come down. So with this, we're going to set alerts as well, because if this closes in the next 25 minutes like this, you have an inverse head and shoulders right underneath the head and shoulders pattern. I don't know if you guys can see this. Boom. That's your inverse head and shoulders, and right here is a head and shoulders. Okay, so we don't need to fight ourselves. Let's just wait to see. So we know if price drops below this area, this inverse head and shoulders is invalid. Vice versa, if we get a rejection at this 50-day EMA and price continues to move up to maybe retest this head and shoulders pattern, I'm sorry, this double top here. So just to play it safe, if we take a trade, it will be from the double top. So let's set alerts, see how price responds. Now I looked at this double top, but this wick played the break of the structure here. So if this area is broken above, I believe price will continue moving to the upside. So we'll just watch this zone here to see how price responds. Okay. Set an alert here. Boom. All right, so for gold, if price continues to move down, all right, and we get a break of the lows here, then there's a big chance that you'll get a continuation in this move to the downside. If it continues to move up and we get a break above this zone, the way we'll trade it is we'll wait on the break and retest and take the move to the upside. Now, again, you guys, it's part of your trading rules. I want you to remain or think objectively when you're looking at the market. That'll keep you from having too strong of a bias to where you create misery in your trading. And what I mean by that is sometimes you take a class or you learn technical analysis and you say, oh, from what I learned, this is a buy, it's going up. It'll go beyond the point where you should have had your stop loss. And every time it dip a little lower or give you a bull candle, you're going to continue to buy it, continue to buy it, continue to buy it versus just going for the sale. Okay? I did it for years. All right? It was part of the process for me because I was hard-headed. But for you guys, it doesn't have to be, okay? So with these levels, all right, like I said, this is the a head and shoulders pattern here. So if price breaks this level and continues to move, we'll just wait on the retest and we'll catch it going to the opposite side, okay? The sell. All right. So we already have our alert set up. We have ways to execute on S&P, NASDAQ, and US 30, no matter whether it's a buy or a sell, as well as gold. So let's take a look at, matter of fact, let's look at the news. Give me 1 second. Let's take a look at the news to see what is going on this week. Okay. Every week before I trade Forex pairs, I take a look at the major news events that are coming out that week so I'll know where the volume would be. So even though I have all of these pairs in my watch list, I don't trade them all every week. It just depends on where the movement is. Okay. So, pound has news this week. Heavy news, AUD. Euro. Okay. All right, so we'll take a look at a few euro pairs, pound. We'll also take a look at AUD. Okay, so looks like SPY is pulling back. All right, so we got our alert set just in case it comes up towards our entry, and we'll try to execute from there. So it looks like that will play out around the London session. All right, let's go into, that didn't say JPY, it said Euro Pound. I guess we'll take a look at Euro AUD. Okay. Okay, so we looked at a Euro AUD from the for a sale at this level. It looks like right here it just printed a humongous inverse head and shoulders. So there's a great chance we could be pulling back to retest structure. All right. If you look at all the rejections right here, you do have liquidity above it. And right here, let me zoom in on this part right here. Right here at our original entry, right around the 50 fib, you have another buy to sell zone right at the break of the 200 EMA. Boom. So we'll take a look at that area. Okay, so if price continues to move up from this area here, we'll take a look at this move to the upside. So depending on how it plays, because right now we actually had a little liquidity here and price pulled up to actually retest. Let me show you guys. So right here you have multiple rejections at this level. Okay. Price broke above it to retest this double top over here in the far left. So at this area, you could get a pullback to maybe retest the area where you have this golden cross. So pretty much retesting this zone. If that happens, we could either take the buy from this area. Stop loss will be slightly beneath that zone. And we're taking it to the 50. Which gives us a nice 1 to 6.53 setup, and let's just say it consolidates a bit in this area instead of giving us that nice pullback, and it just continues from here. What we can do is we can still wait on that break because you typically will get a retest. Okay, wait on that break. Stop loss will be right inside this structural level here, and we'll go to this area, and that's still a nice setup. That setup is 1 to 8.5. Okay, so notice how pretty much the zones that we have as far as our retest zones or our buy to sell to buy zones, if those zones are broken, I use those zones as a means of entry for the break and retest method. So for our students that we got online, everything that you will need as far as entering the trade, you got it. We only enter at major structural levels. If they're broken and retested, you take it to the opposite direction. And with the methods that we use as far as entering our positions, with 3%, let's just say you're being overly aggressive and you're not waiting on any confirmations. So every zone that you see you took, let's just say you took this zone and it broke. You just wait on the retest, stop loss above, and you catch the move going to the downside. Right here, you made all your money back. Okay, so that's the purpose of staying disciplined with the percentages that we risk. Um, who all do we have that are trading live right now? I know Gerard is starting trading live tomorrow. Who's trading live? And an even better question, who is sticking to that 3%? Oh man. Okay. There we go. Okay. So that's the thing that's gonna get you overboard or to the next stage. Being disciplined with your leverage. So you guys were doing 90 trades at 3%. He said, I plan to trade. Okay. Well, let's hop back on during the live session, but make sure um, you use FX calculator to determine your risk before every trade that we take. All right. This way, you guys can trade with me. Look at the patience. Learn how to take your time, and also learn how to implement all of the things that we learned, as well as implementing discipline. I should stick to that 3%. Yes, you should. Yes, sir. Yes, you definitely should. Okay, so let's set our alerts on this. Okay. All right. Euro pound moves so slow. Okay. So we got a nice reaction from this imbalance zone on Euro pound. It looks like it's heading to retest our downward trend line. Wow. All right, so as of now, this is where we are. As you can see, multiple rejections. So there is a chance that we could have a continuation to break above to maybe test this area not this area. So let's just start with this first zone that we see. Boom. Yes, you do have to have a paid account with. Hold on a second. Yes, we do a video charting session on Wednesday as well. We need a paid account. Yes, you need a paid account with TradingView to set multiple alerts. The free account only gives you so many, and it's worth it. Well worth it. Because one thing I'm really sticking to, I didn't learn how to trade to spend 12 hours in front of the computer. I learned how to trade because I was spending 12 hours at work. So I don't want to compromise that freedom by being a willing slave to a laptop. Just set your alerts. So yes, sir. I think they have a plan for I think in between $14 or $30, and maybe $30 if I'm not mistaken. But this looks like a flag, but let's wait for confirmation. Oh wow. Yeah, so Jeff, if you're still on, let me go back to show you how everything start changing when you go down to a smaller time frame. So right now it look like, oh, it's going straight up. We get to the 4 hour. Looks like you can get a possible rejection right here from this zone. And then the further down you go, it starts to look like a inverse head and shoulders. I'm sorry, a head and shoulders pattern. Okay. So right here on the 30-minute, we have this micro structure here. This was the break of that microstructure, and now price is coming back to retest it. If you do not get a continuation in this move, moving up, we will see a pullback to break below these lows, maybe to test this imbalance zone here, or to push a little further down. So what we can do here, let's see what would be our potential target areas. I can't ignore this imbalance zone here. And it falls right on the 200 EMA. Boom. Got stop losses underneath here. And so this thing could be a bear flag. We could be looking at a bear flag. So what we'll do is we'll set an alert on this trend line. So not only can you go over to the right hand side and set an alert, but you can also click a trend line and add alert on the trend line. So if it's broken or if price touches it, you'll get an alert the same way you would with the horizontal line. So if we get this rejection here, this meets our requirements more than 1 to 3 on the risk reward. And let's just say it just so happens to continue with the way it's set up. I don't think it would, but just in case. Just in case, we're going to play this zone. That gives you another trade that meets our requirements. And if it just so happens to pull back to test this zone, we will wait on a reversal pattern inside this if it prints, and we'll catch it back to the opposite direction. So as of right now, this is what we're looking at on Euro Pound. So we have, what was that other thing that we took a look at? Euro AUD. So we have Euro AUD, Euro Pound, and the indices plus gold. Now, I'm going to look through all of them, and we're only going to find 4 setups, okay? No more than 4 a day. And we'll find the best ones and execute on those during the London session. Man, this thing could reject from here. And I'll put an alert here. Okay. So, all right. So that'll be it for today for this session. Hold on a second. All right. Come on now. Cool. Yeah, so that'll be it for this section. We got our alert set for people that want to become a member. Just head over to our website, ProfitTakersEU.com. You can feel free to look at all of the information, but to get to our free trade group, you can go here. Feel free to take the free trading course if you would like to be a part of our group and take the free trading signals. You can also head over to the course page to find out information on the course, further your education, and join us by taking the course. All right, so you guys, we already have our plan set up. I'll see you guys at 3:30 to 4:30, and from there we will execute on everything. I had to jump in the screen. I like this. I feel like Iron Man talking through the tablet. But yeah, we'll execute on everything at that London session, 3:30 to 4:30. So set your clocks. I see you guys then. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you have not already. Again, it's TK Profit from Profit Takers. You guys have an amazing night, and I'll see you soon.